Why does Felix Lebrun generate so much spin on his serve? Many players think it is the arm. This is wrong. The real secret is the pivot point. When you use the arm as the pivot, the movement is big, slow, and the force is dispersed. The contact is flat, no spin. When you use the wrist, it is better. Smaller motion, more speed. You start to feel the spin, but at the highest level, like Felix, the pivot is the fingers. This is the key. The thumb and index finger control the racket. They create a very small rotation axis. Small axis means higher speed. Higher speed means stronger friction. Stronger friction means heavier spin. This is why his serve is so dangerous. There is also a second acceleration. First, the arm and forearm bring the racket forward. Then, just before contact, the fingers tighten and snap. This creates an explosive acceleration at the moment of contact. Today, let's analyze the service of Felix Lebrun.
Can you explain the reason behind the strong spin on Felix Lebrun's serve? The spin is so strong, right? It really lands with force. Use your arm as the pivot and hit straight towards it. Using the wrist as the pivot, see, there's some spin. Using the fingers as the pivot, oh my. This ball truly responds to your intentions. As my dad mentioned, someone brought it up online. What's missing? Is it that the force is insufficient? Look, for my initial move, I need to control it here. I understand what's happening. It requires a bit more forward momentum. It's because my habit point is still in this area. So, we need to put more effort into the follow-through. A bit more follow-through. When I serve short, I start rallying. Yes, hitting a bit higher does make a difference, doesn't it? Slightly higher, to hit a bit higher. Instead of reducing the speed, it may be easier to control this ball by adding a good curve. Should we adjust the contact point lower when hitting the ball? If you encounter a short ball, simply touching it won't suffice. You need to utilize the best spin and friction. Imagine, when he suddenly serves a short ball at this moment, you only need to block it. After hitting here, pull back and tighten your body. Engage your abdomen and back muscles. The motion for a forehand drive is the same as for a forehand topspin. If you don't break down, it's all about this momentum. It's just a forehand topspin. It really looks so similar, doesn't it? Oh, when you pull back and then inhale, that's when it's better. Then inhale and hold. If you see the ball is too short, step back half a pace from the table. Hit the edge precisely and break this type of shot. You're usually not brave enough to break. It's the first point. That's the idea, right? Then I quickly engage my core. The first bounce isn't here. Wow, hitting low can really generate power. Control the first bounce again. This requires practice. This really needs to be done well. I couldn't even feel it on my first try. Isn't the stomach the intestines, right? Similarly, suddenly pull back in. It's just that my strength is just right from here to there. It needs to be sent forward. The force of sending forward needs to be a little more. That's right. You see, you understand it now. Now, let me explain it to everyone once more. He needs to utilize his core muscles, because without engaging them, he can't control the trajectory. The third crucial point is that we apply the same power to hit this ball. You see, I stop here after the first bounce. So after I hit it, I need to follow up with more power. Then he'll put more power into it. I should push it forward a bit more to make the topspin longer. That's my feeling, indeed. Can everyone understand? Let's practice a bit more, and you'll really master it. Keep it up, you can push it to the side. Impressive. Is he standing further back than me? Watch this short ball carefully. Take another shot. Your body is too rigid. Because he can see that the contact point is here. That's even more awkward. That's the outcome. This is a direction for future research, okay? Historically, our coaching has primarily focused on the middle or the inside for short balls. Predicting, just like my dad said. Observe and compare it with when you serve from this position. They should be separated by several times at least. This makes beginners perceive the beginning as slower, right? Let CiaoHan explain once more why Felix's serve has so much spin. I turned around. How was the landing? Good or not? There is a key point to the shot. Everyone pay attention to it. Is it usual to hit from this side? He still has an adjustment to make. Look at Fan Zhendong. They're just making adjustments. This is definitely top-notch, definitely not effective. Move back a bit more. When serving, we need to focus on... After increasing the speed, remember, the fingers and wrists should pull back. Yes, that's it. You need to twist your wrist again. In this scenario, the skilled player may pivot around this point. He emphasizes spinning the ball faster. Increasing the frictional force. When executing the backhand, using the thumb as the pivot point. During rotation, I recall discussing the pivot point in Sanya 1 year. With good wrist control, most players will position their elbow here. I just let him do it faster and smoother like this. After I complete my stroke like this, put this rubber on the edge of the blade and make sure it sticks. That's it. Now secure it like this. Has it taken this shape now? Move back a bit, then a bit more. Just like that. Do you see how quickly it spins? The grip on this racket is enhanced by this rotating axis. The wrist rotation force is reduced. You see, when I keep my wrist steady, it's the racket that rotates. You see, The frequency increases when I incorporate wrist rotation. Understand, before the second acceleration, they were both even strokes. Slightly grip, after gripping, press directly back. Press back like this, and it forms the correct grip. With just a press, this thumb comes back. Previously, this area was using a 2.0 displacement. Adding a small turbo to this axis will make the 2.0 faster. If I suddenly add this, I'll give you a flat board, right? A flat board is also acceptable. A flat board? Pinch a specific point, vertically here or completely here. Pinch here. Use your thumb to symmetrically pinch these 2 points. When swinging the flat board, ensure that the strength of these 2 symmetrical points is not dispersed. Do not pinch here. Thumb pinching here is not allowed. I understand. You go for it. That day, I also managed to return it. I'm really quick. My topspin is so smooth, I'm really good at this. Let me try a topspin once. It's much smoother than everyone expected. That day, when I returned the shot, notice how he played it back with a lot of fake spins. XiaoHan's spin is much stronger than you expected, spinning. The best approach for this shot is to hit the ball high with plenty of spin. Add plenty of spin to the shot. Yes, for this ball, you can only play it like this, right? He immediately adds side spin upon hitting the ball. It's quite challenging to hit this ball effectively. Wow, this seems like a lot of topspin, right? Let's practice this technique. The backhand should be done like this, but avoid the previous mistake. See, the ball is dropping straight down. Watch me perform a standard underspin stroke. However, our ball doesn't have a significant effect. It's just like this. Just return to the starting position in the end. What am I feeling? This serves as the pivot point for amateur table tennis players. The arm serves as the pivot point in this movement. You must have observed this in the table tennis hall, right? Observe your own technique. In the table tennis hall, 90% of players employ this method. He can't get it going either. Using the wrist as the pivot point, like this. If you pinch the board with your thumb and index finger, the index finger tightens, then the thumb comes on as the pivot point on this board. Then, naturally, it will spin. Using the arm as the pivot point, using the wrist as the pivot point, see, it spins a bit. Using the fingers as the pivot point, oh my goodness. That's the ball. You see, I really understand what my dad meant when he told us. You're allowing him to attack you head. The arm is not crucial. This is also the pivot point here. Release it in this way as well. Utilize the middle ear shot as well. Grip and apply pressure with your index finger at this point. How do you apply pressure with your arm? It's excellent to have your racket circulate around this spot. I utilize my fingers. Directly dropped. Oh, my spin changed significantly. I connected right away. When I connect, I use my finger as the point of contact. It possesses this strength. Highly concentrated, even more focused, right? You may apply 100 units of force, but it only receives 10 units of force. Is the arm exerting too much force by relying solely on its own strength? This force is not applied to the racket. However, when you use your fingers as the pivot point for the force you are currently exerting with your body, the strongest force, the most focused force, the quickest force, correct? You should attempt to make contact with the ball. Let me attempt a hook shot. Everyone, please focus. They are also holding the racket like this. I need to loosen my thumb a little. Let them play a game. Oh my goodness. Cool. Oh my goodness. The best shot I've ever made. Did I break too hard? Use your finger strength to hit straight down. Apply strong topspin. Strike the ball directly and let it drop onto the table. I can understand focusing all the force there. Press the two sides of the racket together inward, not just for display. Practice makes perfect. Just like what? You utilize your fingers on the racket. Only on this racket, its power is equivalent to that of your thigh. It is exceptionally powerful, much stronger than you think. Did you feel it right away? Especially notice it? Do you have your racket in your hand now? Put your hand here. Okay, I'll rotate like this. Follow my swing, keep it steady. See, this is my most powerful shot, isn't it? You demonstrate it yourself. It feels a bit painful when you grip it in my hand. Guys, give it a try. Everyone should. Wow, it's really amazing and powerful. Is he holding the racket like this to make it right? Isn't he? The pivot point becomes clearer. Amateur players rely on hand force. It feels amateurish. How about professional players? Now, the technology has become more advanced and has progressed. Let me tell you, after watching the whole match, XiaoHan would sit there and take notes. I would go in at around 2 or 3 points and still be there taking notes, right? They're all national players. How can you go wrong with your game plan? Let's analyze his strength. Observe how he executes. Is it also a block like this? Press this with your thumb. Adjust the position in this way. His thumb moves upward. He break the ball once more. Press the thumb against the racket like this. Simultaneously, use the thumb to apply. Have you mastered the fundamentals? Do you watch it repeatedly? Do you think it's right?
对对对。
But this happens often.
咱们那个就是说，想改变思想太难了。
对。
就是说咱们
We are discussing with great energy. You feel it too. He did counter it, indeed. He's not following your instructions. He should counter next time. He is still using his arm to execute this break. So when I mention this, since you trust me, let me break down a segment for you first, because we still have a lot to work on. It won't hinder our progress or improve our touch. He's countering you with an effective technique. That's the situation. This will yield results. You'll start seeing results in approximately a month.
About table tennis on my blog, PingSunday.com. Get free ebook and coaching advices. See you in the next video.